Let's be real. If you've ever owned a cat, you know the struggle. One minute, they're adorable little fluff balls, and the next, they're plotting your downfall, one broken vase at a time. You've tried calling their name, bribing them with treats, but nothing works. They just look at you like, "You're not my boss." But what if we told you there's a secret? Yes, a real secret that can flip the script. A trick so simple and effective, it might just make your cat finally listen to you without the attitude. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only have a happy, obedient kitty, but also a newfound respect for the cat whisperer inside you. Number 1. Reward good behavior. Cats, much like humans, are driven by incentives. While dogs might work for praise and approval, cats are a bit more discerning. They expect a reward that speaks to their unique desires. Whether it's a tasty treat, a cozy cuddle session, or an engaging playtime with their favorite toy, a well-timed reward can communicate one powerful message: you're doing something right. Rewards work on a fundamental psychological principle. Behaviors that are rewarded are more likely to be repeated. When your cat associates a specific action with a positive outcome, they'll naturally be inclined to do it again. For instance, if your cat sits calmly on the couch instead of clawing the curtains and you reward them with a treat, they'll start to understand that calm behavior equals a tasty payoff. But here's the kicker: you don't have to wait for them to misbehave before rewarding them. Praising your cat for simply being well-behaved sets a strong foundation. Also, be consistent in rewarding them. If you want your cat to respond to you immediately, consistency is key. Each time they exhibit good behavior or follow a command, reward them promptly. Over time, they'll begin to associate listening to you with something they love. Also, a consistent reward system doesn't just lead to better obedience, it also strengthens your bond. When your cat realizes that being around you means good things happen, they'll actively seek your company. You'll notice more snuggles, more purring, and less of the "why are you bothering me" attitude. Number 2. Use positive reinforcement. When it comes to cats, the phrase "herding cats" exists for a reason. They're fiercely independent, notoriously stubborn, and not exactly eager to follow commands like their canine counterparts. But here's the secret cat owners everywhere need to know. Positive reinforcement isn't just a training tool. It's a game changer that can make your feline companion not only listen to you, but also want to obey you. But before this can work, you must foremostly understand what motivates your cat. You see, every cat is unique. While one might go wild for a bit of tuna, another might prefer chin scratches or a session with their favorite feather toy. Observe your cat to figure out what makes their tail twitch with excitement. Also, you must know the right cues to use with your feline companion. Whether it's calling their name, using a clicker, or a specific gesture, pick a cue that signals to your cat that they've done something right. You'd be surprised at just how much your cat can learn when motivated the right way. By using positive reinforcement, you're not just teaching your cat tricks, you're building a relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. A cat that trusts you is more likely to listen, follow commands, and even seek out your company. Even better, positive reinforcement can help reduce stress and anxiety in your cat. They'll feel confident and secure, knowing that good behavior leads to good outcomes. And as your cat begins to trust and understand you, you'll notice that they start responding more quickly and eagerly to your cues. In their eyes, you're no longer just a human. You're their trusted partner in this strange, two-legged world. Number 3. Create positive associations. If you've ever tried to train a cat, you've probably encountered the quintessential feline attitude: I do what I want, when I want. Cats, after all, are not dogs. Their independent streak is one of their most charming traits, but it can also be downright frustrating when you're trying to get them to follow a command, or even simply come when called. The secret to bypassing their stubbornness lies in understanding a little psychological trick called positive association. This technique, when used correctly, can turn your aloof kitty into a surprisingly cooperative companion. And the best part? It doesn't require yelling, frustration, or any power struggles. All you need is a little patience, insight into what makes your cat tick, and a willingness to see the world through their eyes. You see, cats are creatures of habit, and their behavior is often driven by one simple principle: what's in it for me? If they associate a particular action with something they enjoy, they're far more likely to repeat that behavior. This is where positive association shines. Imagine if every time you asked your cat to jump on the couch, they were rewarded with their favorite treat. Over time, they'd begin to link the command with the reward. Eventually, they might even start obeying you without hesitation, not because they suddenly respect your authority, but because they're expecting something delightful to happen. But here's one cool secret. Foundation of positive association is finding out what your cat truly enjoys. Once you know what your cat loves, the next step is pairing it with a specific action or command. And the final step will be to make the process fun. Cats are quick to sense frustration, so it's important to keep training sessions enjoyable for both of you. Be patient and treat the experience as a bonding opportunity rather than a chore. Your cat isn't just learning commands, they're learning to trust and engage with you in a new way. Number 4, correct with a firm no. Before you can correct a behavior, it helps to understand why it happens. Cats aren't acting out just to frustrate you. Their actions often stem from natural instincts, curiosity, or a desire for attention. Whether it's scratching furniture, knocking over your favorite glass, or climbing where they shouldn't, these behaviors are usually tied to one of boredom, instincts, or a lack of training. So here's the thing, cats are natural hunters, and if they don't get enough stimulation, they'll create their own fun. Equally, scratching, for example, isn't just destructive. It's how cats maintain their claws and mark their territory. And unlike dogs, many people don't realize that cats can also be trained with consistency and patience. So, understanding these motivations is key to addressing the problem effectively. Now, on to the magic of that simple 2-letter word, no. You see, while cats are independent creatures, they're also incredibly perceptive. They can pick up on tone, body language, and even your level of frustration. When used correctly, a firm no acts as an immediate signal that whatever they're doing is unacceptable. But for this to work, your tone needs to be very firm. This is because cats are sensitive to the tone of your voice, and a sharp, firm no grabs their attention, signaling that a boundary has been crossed. And unlike harsher methods like spraying water or yelling, using a firm no aligns with a cat's natural way of learning. Cats communicate boundaries with each other through body language and sounds, and your firm tone mimics this dynamic. But it's important that you remember that cats aren't dogs, and their independent nature means training them requires patience, but it's far from impossible. So, the next time your cat gets a little too curious with your curtains or decides your laptop is their new bed, take a deep breath, say a firm no, and guide them toward better choices. You'll both be happier for it. Number 5, use a loud noisemaker. First, let's dive into the science behind this phenomenon. You see, cats are naturally sensitive to their environment and have acute hearing that can pick up even the faintest rustle of a mouse. This sensitivity is a survival trait passed down from their wild ancestors, who relied on sound to detect both prey and predators. When you introduce an unexpected loud noise, it triggers your cat's startle reflex. In essence, the sudden sound cuts through their stubborn streak and forces them to pause, reassess, and often stop whatever mischievous activity they're engaged in. Whether it's aggressive behavior, scratching furniture, or that dramatic 3 a.m. Zoomies session, a well-timed noise can interrupt the unwanted behavior in its tracks. Before you start banging pots and pans every time your cat looks at you sideways, it's important to understand how to use this technique effectively and humanely. First, you need to pick the right tools. Not all noises are created equal. A whistle or a can filled with pennies often works wonders because the sound is sharp and distinct without being overly traumatic. Avoid loud or jarring sounds that might genuinely scare your cat or create long-term anxiety. Also, timing is everything. The noise must coincide with the unwanted behavior. For example, if your cat starts clawing your couch, use the noisemaker immediately. The goal is to create an association between the bad behavior and the unpleasant sound. Finally, you have to be consistent with it. Only use the noisemaker only for specific actions to prevent your cat from becoming desensitized to it. But beyond curbing unwanted behavior, using a noisemaker can also enhance communication between you and your cat. It's like adding another tool to your pet parenting toolbox, helping you establish boundaries in a way that's clear and effective. Over time, your cat may learn to stop bad behavior altogether, even before the noisemaker makes an appearance.